Okay, guys. Okay, I got it back. It starts. Okay, there's a little bit of a change over here. Let's put a text over here. And it's a live graph. So, a caption. Live graph. Okay, guys. So I got it back connected. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. It just got hang. I don't know why. I have to restart everything. So we were here in the live graph section. Here we were talking about the bar chart race. Let me run these lines all again. Okay, so what I did over here is I installed the bar chart race live module over here. Then I installed this media player fmmpeg.python over here. This is a media player that is required to play files or to play animations files on the Jupyter notebook. Then I imported that module that I've just installed, bar chart race as BCR import module. I imported that module and the Panda module because I was actually importing the one CSV file inside this. So I said, let's import the let's use the Panda module over here. Now I've used some basic concepts of the Pandas library, Pandas module. And if you don't know the basics of the Pandas, then you can watch our videos. I have a complete workshop on the Pandas, complete workshop on NumPy and the Pandas. There I've explained each and every concept related to the Pandas. You can go there and watch that video. By the time I will, what are the basics that I'm doing over here, I will explain you. Now I said df is equal to pd.read_csv, and I gave it the path of the CSV file that I have just uploaded over here. That I've already explained you how I uploaded a file. You can copy the path from here by pressing the three dots, copy path, and you can copy the path over here. And you have to use the R as it's in notebooks. Basically, you have to use the string formatting over here. So I gave it a R that says yes, you have to read this path and this path over here. And when I run it, it runs perfectly fine, as you can see over here. And I've got the, I got the CSV file inside of my df data frame over here, and it creates a complete data frame that looks like this. And I've used this df.tail method over here. Now tail method just shows us the last 5 rows of our data frame. If we have used the head method, it would have shown the first 5 rows of the this data frame. Now I've used the tail method, so it is showing me the last 5 rows, and close it. Now these are all the values inside of the data frame. Now what this data frame is about? Now this data frame is starting from somewhere around April month, and it's going up to the October month of 2nd October 2020, and it is telling me all the confirmed cases of each of every state of India, our country. Okay, confirmed cases. We have set status is equal to confirmed. This is the date. This is the index. We have 202 indexes. And these are all the confirmed cases of each state, like Andaman, Nicobar, Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Chandigarh, and all. Okay, so we are creating a bar chart defining which your state at what date has the highest number of where it was lying, what was its rank in the confirmed cases at that particular date. For that, we have created a bar chart. Horizontal animated bar chart, which is also called a horse race chart. Okay, so I created this. Then one thing, when we are creating this horse chart, we need this date or whatever that is on which bar chart is running on has to be the index. So what I did is I used this one Python pandas module, sorry, set index, and I put a date. I converted date as an index of the module. So what it does is it removed the date as an index. It converted date as an index, and I said df.drop status comma access is equal to 1. Now I said I don't need this confirmed column over here, status column over here. So I said drop it, and I said access is equal to 1. So that means work this on the access 1 means work it on the columns. If I would have said access 0, that means remove or work it on the rows. So if I said access 1, that means work it on the columns. Just check for the column with name status and drop it. So that's what happened over here. I've used df.head. I've got top 5 rows. It started on 14th March, sorry. And I've got top in the starting confirmed cases in most of the states, as you can see, were the 0. And some of them were there, like Haryana, there were 14 cases, Delhi, there were 7, and Maharashtra, like always, has 14, Kerala 19, Kerala, sorry. And we checked by using the df.shape, we got the shape of the method 200, it's 203 rows and 38 columns over here. This is taking time. This takes time. Don't worry about it. Okay, that's why I've run it earlier only, because to upload to play that animation, to create that animation, it really takes a lot of time. Okay, and right now I'm using on the Google. I'm on the Google Colab where I'm getting around to 12 GB of a RAM, and it still is taking a time. So don't worry about that. Okay. Okay, just doing it again. And that animation is taking a load on my computer right now. But if you run it, just leave it for the 5 minutes. Do whatever you do. In the 5 minutes, it will, like this. Okay, you see here, this is an animation of the bar chart running, showing you who was the highest and their date is running. You can even pause at the place where you want to pause it, and you can see it clearly. Okay, like right now on the 14th April, Maharashtra is at the top, MP is at the second, and it keeps on running. If we move a little bit forward, and the date, you see it slows down because it gets a little bit of consistency around there. And I'm there, as you know, we have around 38 of the rows over here, 38 states over here, including territories and all. But we are getting only around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bars over here. It's because I have provided it bars is equals to 10, and steps per period is 20. We use steps per period argument is to control the speed of this bar chart, where there are lots of arguments I have stated over here. This is a complete list of arguments that are passed inside of it. Everyone has its own value. I've talked about steps per period, file name, orientation. File name, you can give it whatever the file name you want to give it over here. And these are all the colors you can change. Dark 12 right now, you can do prism or whatever color you want to put it over there. And you can, if you want to change the orientation of the, like you want to make it run verticals, you can just put it orientation is equal to vertical, and it will become a vertical bar graph. I'm not gonna right now change it over here. You can try it because it again gonna take 10 to 15 minutes to load over here. And I don't want to waste your time. You can change the arguments over here according to the documentation. Okay, and you can create this bar chart. All the time this bar chart will take around 5 to 10 minutes to load onto your computer. I'm using Colab and I have a 12 GB of a RAM right now. Okay, and I'm using TPU over here, but it is still taking a lot of time. Okay, because it's a lot of data and it's reading it. More the data is, more the time it will take to read and create this kind of a bar horse chart race, bar plot. Yes, you can download this video. You can save the video. All of these parameters are present over here. You have to put the value argument of an encoder, and you can save this videos. Who asked me? So Surajit Dai, you can save this video. There's a parameter. Let me see where it is. Where you can save it into your computer. I'm not saving it, and you can also upload it into YouTube. There is a parameter right now. I can find it. Okay, through which you can save it, that video. Bhavesh Sharma, this data is up to the 2nd of October 2020. This data I directly took it from the covid19.org website. So this is a real data, actual data. Actually, it is real-time data, and it starts from 14th March 2020. I gave you the CSV file. You can download the CSV file from there in the link, and I will ask my team to share it again, that CSV file with you guys. Okay, so that's how you can create it. You can even upload it on the Save It. You can upload it on the YouTube. Okay, it will look. It's a very cool thing. COVID-19 cases. They have shared the code link with you. Now we will talk about this. This was a live graph. Now we will use this data visualization, whatever we have learned, and some more things we will learn while applying it on this Titanic data set. Now, for those people who are with me on the NumPy Pandas library, NumPy and the Pandas tutorial, we have worked, we worked on the Titanic data set using the Pandas library. Okay, we did the lots of modifications, we data pre-processing and cleaning with the help of the Pandas. We also able to, mathematically visualize the data. Oh, sorry, but here we are gonna visualize this data set using these graphs and matplotlib library. Plus, this is the same data set. A link will be provided to you of that data set. Now, what I did is I imported two libraries more, Pandas library and the Seabound library. Now, Pandas library I have told you I have earlier imported for this CSV file. I have imported it again for importing this Titanic.train Titanic train CSV file. And this Seabound library also works parallelly with the matplotlib library. It gives much more flexibility to the matplotlib. Like we have to write a little bit of a less code, and it works better. So let me import this first. Okay, I've imported. Now let's see our data. df.head. Now this is how our data looks like. Okay, we have got the index over here in the Titanic and the passenger ID survived 0 or 1. If 0 is it's not survived, 1 is survived. P class, the class of the person. Now this Titanic, let me tell you first what Titanic dataset is. If you remember the movie Titanic movie, there's like lots of people, they hit the iceberg, their ship broke down from the between, and lots of people died in that ship. Okay, some of them survived. Okay, if you see the movie, you have seen the women were saved first, women and the children, and then all those rich peoples were saved first. And that's so that is what this data set. No, this is not a, I don't think this is a real data set. Maybe it will be a real data set, I don't that know for the sure, but this data set is somewhat based on that. Okay, so you see here, these are the classes of the person, these are the sex, male, female, age, name, sibling, spouse, if that person has a sibling or a spouse, how many sibling spouse that person has basically, then parent, children, ticket number, fare, charges, or the fare of that ticket, then cabin, then embark means from where they have boarded the ship. Now this is the data I have. Now this data contains of let me show you df.shape df.shape, and if I have got 891 rows and 12 columns over here. Now I'm not gonna read all the 891 rows, and I'm gonna find out how many males are there, how many females are there, or how many what is the average age of all the males, or what is the average age of all the females. I'm not gonna just watch all those 891 rows and try to read it. So in those cases, these graphs play a very good role. Now suppose I want to see how many people has survived and how many people has not survived. This. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this count plot over here, where in the one axis there will be a counting, like number of people that have survived, the number of peoples, and in another axis it will create two bars. One is for the survival and one is for the people who died. Now if I show you, let me just run it, and you see first let's see over here we are using SNS. SNS is a Seabound library, ideas of a Seabound library. And here you see I've used the Seabound library sns.countplot because I'm using a Seabound library module, but still it is using matplotlib over here, matplotlib access. Okay, so that's what I said. Seabound library works inside matplotlib basically when the works inside of the Seabound module also. So everything requires matplotlib library to work. If you are working with the graphs, even Seabound library, it's just a library that works parallel with the matplotlib. So here you see this is a graph where this is 0 and 1. 0 means the people died, 1 means the people survived. We know by the movie that very few people only survived, lots of people died in the movie. So same over here, you see around somewhere more than 550 somewhere there people have died, and around 300 something, 320 something people survived in the uh, what do you say, in this Titanic data set. So we get to know how many people survived, how many people did not survive. Now we can do more changes over here. I can say let's give it a hue as sex. Okay, so I've passed the column survived over here. Now I'm passing hue as a sex. I will tell you what hue is. Let me just show you. You can already understand by the hue. Means I'm giving x-axis as a survived only, 0 and 1. Y-axis is the count plot only. But over that, I'm plotting male and the female bar charts. Okay, so that is called a hue. And it automatically creates a legend where it's saying blue is the male and orange is the female. Now in the movie, according to the movie, we know that males were, saved in the last first females, and the children were the priority. That's why females survived more, and male survived less over here. You can see, and and it will be just opposite over here. Male died more, and female died less because most of the females were rescued in the starting only. And guys, I want to tell you one thing. If you have any doubt regarding this complete, this complete tutorial or any of our topics that are that we have discussed earlier dates also in our previous workshops and webinars and this workshop or in any of our courses, you can join our WhatsApp group. My team will share you the WhatsApp group link. You can join our WhatsApp group, and through there you can directly ask us the questions related to the topics that we are discussing over here. Okay. So it's like most of the times you guys commented on the YouTube, but there are lots of comments and sometimes your comment gets mixed up or missed by us. So to overcome this, you can join us on the WhatsApp group and you can directly text or you can directly ask us your questions in the group. There will be, you can get a community ready to help you. We will help you. Whole team is present over there. They will help you. Even the all other friends and your people that will join the group, they can help each other and they will get a good and knowledge about all of these things. So we have shared your WhatsApp group with you. You can join us on the WhatsApp group and you can connect with us directly over there. You can also join us on, you can also connect with us on the LinkedIn also. There you can ask us questions. We have no problem anyone asking us question. Okay, texting us. We will help you whenever, as soon as we get time, ASAP. Okay. So that's all. Now suppose we have created this survival of people like male, this must survive, female, this must survive. Now suppose we were discussing on the sex. Now what if we want to talk about let's say which class of the people survived more? Okay, so I can simply say here P class, and if I run it, it will give us the class like here it says blue is the class 1 people, orange is the class 2 people, and green is the class 3 people. So we know always the class 1 people are the rich people. It's a whole time thing. So they are like class 1, it's like a business class, and only the rich people gets the business class. So they survive. Those people survive more. And the class 3rd, they're like those poor people, economy class people, I would say. And they were not given much of the high priority. That's why they died more. This is just a hypothesis coming out of this observation, coming out of this graph only. Okay, I'm not just implying something. Okay, so as you can see, we can directly see from the graphs like okay, so this is happening like class 1 survived more and class 3 died more. So we get a particular idea that how this class is going to affect on the survival of the Titanic, survival of the people in the Titanic ship, or the sex, how sex is affecting the survival on the Titanic ship. Suppose I have not watched the Titanic movie. Okay, I don't know what Titanic movie is. I don't know anything. It's just a random data. Even they did not give me the heading that it's a Titanic data set. Okay, I got this data. I want to see what's happening in the data. So what I did, I just said survive and I put a hue as sex. So I find out how many male, how many female survived. Okay, so female survived more, male survived less. Then I said, what class of people survived? Which first class people survive more or the third class people survive more? Now we can change the respect like let's say I want to give it over as sex. If I run it, now we see where in what kind of a class, what sex people are present over there, whether what gender of people are present over there, whether they are male or female, how many male, how many female are present in which class. So that's how we get the idea of it. Now most of them in the third class, most of them are male, and male were given the less priority also, while getting off the ship. So that's why they died more. That's why we were seeing earlier in the previous graph that male has the highest number of deaths. Okay, non-survivals. Now let's move forward. We can also plot a graph of sibling and the spouse. You see here, it tells us that most of them don't have a sibling and a spouse. Then some around 200 people has one only sibling spouse, and then some people have 2, 3, 4, and it gets us the idea that most of them don't have a sibling and a spouse. So we don't have to consider that column very much because most of them has 0. Then we can also create a histograms seeing the variation or like age group people, like what kind of age groups are present in what kind of area. Like if I run this program, sorry, set up a code name plt is not defined. Okay, sorry, I started this again, so I have to run this line of a code again. Yeah, now if I run it again, now you see this is an histogram over here. I've given it edge color as a black so that we can easily get the edges around it. Okay, what I did over here is I said him use the age column but drop NA. Now this is not a very clean data set. I haven't pre-processed this data set, so there will be lots of NaN values, empty values, and different kind of values. So what I said is remove all the empty values, NaN values, and drop all these NA values in this column, and then create this histogram. And just everything is same. I said bin is equal to 40. I create the bins of 40 size, and I said edge color is black. I gave the edge colors of the black, and here we have got the graph. Like let me remove the edge color from here for a moment. I see. Now we can see what are this is the age group over here, and this is the count, so we can easily see what kind of age group people are present over here. Most of the people are from between 20 to 30, around more than 50 something. Then some are around 10 to 20. Most less are old age people, 70 to 80 are very few, around 5-6 people are of that age. Then for 50 to 60 years they are around like they are also less than 10 over here. So this gives us an idea like what is the age group of the people, what age group people are maximum in that ship in this our data set. So we found out that around somewhat 20 to 30 they have the maximum age group people, and also around somewhere 30 to 40 they have a good amount of people between 20 to 30, and sorry 20 to 40 if we see complete 20 to 40 they have like good amount of people over between 20 to 40. So this is how we get an idea of it. Now there is one last thing, and this is a heat map also. We even discussed heat map earlier. Okay, now what this heat map does is, if I run this code over here, now this heat map is used basically for the pre-processing to find out what kind of value is present. I said right now df dot is null over here, so it is telling me how many null values are present inside of this data set. Okay, rest everything it convert to black, and you see these white portions over here. Now these are my null values. So I told you age has lots of null values, and that's why I use here drop NA over here. And see, this heat map is also telling me that there are null values over here. And this is using a C bar, so I can say I don't need a C bar over here. So C bar is equal to, I can say false. And I run it. Now there is no C bar over here because we weren't talking about the color variations and all. Now there are other things also that we can do with it. Let's see. We can change the line widths, line colors, C bar, and C bar KWS. This is, we can also remove these white ticks also we can remove. We don't need this white ticks over here. So we can simply say white ticks labels equals to false. If I run it, it's not white tick labels, ticks. So, okay, sorry. Yeah. Now you see I don't have a white ticks over here. Now it says it gives me just the columns: passenger ID, survive, P class, name, sex, age, and gives me just tells me what are the empty values present over here. I know that Kevin has maximum number of empty values. So if I'm doing the data cleaning or pre-processing, I will just drop that column only. I knew that age also has some empty values. So I will check out the average and all, what kind of values are present over there, and I will modify it accordingly. So that's the things we can do with the data visualization. You visualize the data, you understand what data is trying to say. You can't read your complete data you manually, like scrolling down, or even you can't use pandas enough over there. You need matplotlib. Okay, and you basically those good machine learning, the people who create good machine learning models, they before data cleaning they work with the data visualization. Even after data cleaning they work with the data visualization to check what kind of a data they get before cleaning and after cleaning, so that accordingly they can create their models. Accordingly they can choose what kind of columns they need, what kind of columns they don't need, what kind of a column is affecting on which column, okay, and how much it is affecting. So that's all in the data visualization. I hope you like this video, okay, this workshop. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, or you can join our WhatsApp group. There you can ask me anytime, okay, and as soon as we get the time, we will immediately help you. We will also add the updated code in the video description after the end of the live session. We have did the lots of editing. I'm sorry, some of the things that we have added in the starting must have missed because I have to restart it again. Okay, but whatever we did in the end, it will be all present over there. You can check you can get the code from the description. Sir, once again explain heat map. Okay. Okay, so heat map is nothing. It's just the let's say if you have seen any movie, those infrared rays, tells us the person where the heat is more, it convert into a red or the yellowish part, and rest everything is normal. Same ways, whatever I will give it the color, say df dot is null is over here, it will give it a different kind of a color to helps us find what kind of a what kind of a variation is present over there. So let's I said df dot is null present, df dot is null, so it starts finding the null values and it starts giving it a different color than the rest of the colors and creates a complete heat map. Now when we'll see this map, we'll get an immediate idea that Kevin has a lots of empty values. It has a lots of white portion over here. It has lots of empty values. Age has a little bit of empty values, but it also has some of the values. Okay, so that is all in the heat map. Now heat map has lots other variations also. You can change the color also in the heat map. If I say comma c map equals to, and I give it greens, and if I run it, now you see it becomes a greens color. Now anything that is in the green color will be our heat. That's a heat color, and it will tell us that these are all the empty values present over here because we are passing right now is null over here. Okay, can you please share complete code of this workshop? Yes, obviously, yes, we will share this complete code. We already shared with you the notebook. Okay, code is almost same. Okay, somewhat variations I did over there that I will share with